All right, everybody. Hello and welcome to our Wednesday night team synergy call. Normally we're on Tuesday nights on our TNT Tuesday night training. That's TNT for you guys at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. Obviously, we moved from yesterday, so we could all have a great celebration here for our Americas for our 4th of July. So I hope you had an incredible celebration yesterday. I know that I did. I actually got to come up to Sedona, which I'm still in, heading home here tonight, to celebrate my 7-year anniversary from my very first date with my now wife and the mother of our child. So we got a chance to bring our baby daughter Phoenix up here to Sedona to relive our first date with us. We went and did kind of everything that we did 7 years ago, which was pretty fun, and more to come on that. So as you guys are making your way in here, we want to welcome you. Go ahead and type into that chat box. Let us know where you're logged on from. Tonight's going to be a very, very, very special call. I just have a few things I want to share with you guys, and then I'm going to turn it over here to your leadership so you can get a chance to hear a little bit more directly from them on their story and a little bit more about what we have that's so special coming up. But before we get into where we're all going next week, because where are we all going next week? Arizona. That's right. You guys are coming to the heat. So I hope you guys are ready. Bring some sunscreen, especially for my whiteys out there like me. But before we get into that, I do want an opportunity for us to just take one more look at this because it makes me so excited. And this is our first time coming together since on Sunday. If you missed the news because you were celebrating the holiday or you're recovering from that hangover, you missed the news. We have this amazing promotion that has been extended through the month of July. So please enjoy, and we'll be right back.
We're not turning back.
At Club Secret, we know you love to explore the world and get lost in its wonder while experiencing the very best life has to offer. And we couldn't think of a better way for you to capture all those magic moments and memories on your next escape or getaway with your Club Secret family than with your very own Club Secret 4K drone. That's right, through July 2023, you can earn your very own Club Secret 4K drone through the Eyes in the Sky giveaway. And it's perfect for travel. It's compact, ultra lightweight, and easy to fly. So how do you qualify? Simple. Just achieve your very next squared bonus level for the first time and you win. Qualify for the first time at 10 squared, 25 squared, 50, 100, or 250 squared, and it's yours. Now, reattaining your level from previous months does not qualify. You must achieve your next squared level for the first time in July of 2023. Participating markets are the United States, Canada, Colombia, Mexico, and the Caribbean. And this promotion ends July 31st at 11:59 Pacific Standard Time. So just think of all of the awe-inspiring moments and incredible sights you'll be able to capture in stunning 4K and be able to share with the world what it's like to be a part of the world's greatest lifestyle membership. Everyone is eager to get out and see the world. Travel is at an all-time high, and more people than ever are looking for an opportunity to improve the way that they look, feel their very best, and experience the world. And at Club Secret, we deliver just that. Imagine telling that story in stunning 4K. And not only will you earn more residual income through the squared bonus than ever before, but you can share our amazing community dedicated to helping you live the good life. Let's get your eyes in the sky with Club Secret and take your income and experiences higher.
Boom, that's right, guys. Extended through the entire month of July. So this, honestly, this is probably one of the craziest promotions I've ever seen. Not only is it one of the craziest promotions that I've ever seen, the results of what happened from the promotion, I mean, it was a frenzy. So on Friday night before the month end, you guys literally broke our servers. We had so many people trying to sign people up. We weren't prepared for it because it was like a Black Friday type of situation. So we extended until a Saturday for people to be able to earn it. And I can tell you there were so many people that are like, oh, we were so close, or I was so close, or we had some people so close. And we literally got like begging and some threats. Honestly, we had a few people threaten us saying you got to extend this for the month. So we were like, well, we'll extend it until Freedom Academy. And they were like, but the problem with extending it only to Freedom Academy was the fact that some people have their auto ships and their Club Secrets that happen at the end of July. So we extended for the entire month. So if you're grateful for this, send a message to Eddie Head. He was a major pusher of this to make this happen. Obviously send it. But the idea behind the drone promotion is actually my wife. When we came up with an idea of what could we do that would be a unique, fun, and gadget. And of course, it's one of my favorite toys to be able to capture magic moments when we went on our vacation, our honeymoon, all these places. So if you're seeing any of the stuff that I post, it's from drones. It's being able to have a camera that's higher in the sky that you can do. Now, you don't have to go all crazy like that video and being like, you know, all that. If all you did was literally have it go up, take pictures of you from the sky and come back down, you get some really good stuff, right? So, but let me go into a couple of things that we want to go over here tonight and what we're doing, where we're going, and get right into our training. So this is it. I'm pretty sure this is it. I don't know. We're about to find out if I got this thing right. Okay, so a couple of resources for you guys. If you haven't been on here, teamsynergyagents.com. We are all heading to Freedom Academy. This is next week. All right, so this is not only the most important event I believe we're going to have in the history of Secret, but for you, as we are really having the clear direction and vision. Now, yesterday was Independence. Canada had their celebration on Saturday for Canadian Day. So, and one of the things that's very important is like freedom isn't free. It requires something to sacrifice and a fight for. And we're going to be talking a lot about that. So we want to make sure that you're there and get your agenda. If you haven't gotten your tickets, get your tickets. We're going to be talking about that here today. I'm going to skip over our videos. I just want a couple things on the agenda. We keep adding more and more things to the agenda. So this is all on our website, so you can't miss it. But Thursday, we have dedicated for our platinums and above, our Trainers Academy and our special Shabbat dinner only for platinums and above. Then on Friday, you guys see we got the golf tournament. If you haven't registered for the 4-person scramble, get there before it sells out. We have an 8 a.m. yoga class taught by none other than Ruby agent Josh Valentin. I can't wait. All right. We have also at 10 a.m. a content creation and social media breakout for those of you guys that want to know how to capture things, post it, share it big. And then we have our pool party. Our pool party is going to be nuts. We have a total takeover. Now, in this resort, there's a water park called Oasis Water Park. We are not in there because we couldn't have our own DJ. We couldn't film in there because it's a public space. So we actually took over 2 of the pools in one of the areas where they're going to put all of our people. And they said, well, since you guys are going to have all of the people in that one block, we'll let you have a private pool party to bring in your own DJ. I can't wait for you guys to see my DJ. He's a good friend of mine. So he actually DJ'd at my wedding. So he's coming in. I was like, hey, I know you haven't done it in a minute, but could you do it one more for me? One more go. And so that's going to be there. And your ticket to get into it, you got to have a wristband to get into the pool party. And all you got to do is get $25 of secret swag. If you bought it online, you can pick up. If you didn't get a chance to, you can just buy your swag at registration on Friday. They'll get you your ticket for the pool party. We have a welcome reception. Then Saturday and Sunday, we got training. On Sunday, I'm teaching a hip hop class. So we're bringing it old school. It's going to be awesome. So prepare yourself. Then we got our church service and then our farewell party, which is a cowboy themed party up at Rustler's Rouge, which is the top of the Arizona Grand. So I want some cowboy hats. I want to see someone in stirrups and spurs. Like, come on, baby. So it is going to be an amazing. And then Monday we have our community day. So all of this information from the golf tournament and the details on it and our Eyes in the Sky are all on our website. So you cannot miss it. Everything you're going to find here is on our website. So the last thing before I turn it over to your leadership is our recognition. So let's give it up and some hearts in the comments for all of our new bronzes. These are our new bronzes from here this last week that have happened. We've got our new Royales. Congratulations for their accomplishment, our new Royales, and our rock stars that are going out there and making it happen. These are 4 signups in 4 weeks with 400 or more. So with our preview pack or whatever it is. Okay. So now, there is one more recognition of somebody who qualified for a rank that we didn't get on the slide. And the reason I didn't put on the slide is because I actually have him live in color with me. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to the newest platinum inside of the organization here. He's actually over in Asia, interestingly enough. But he decided last minute, he was like, you know what, I'm not going to miss this event, and ended up coming from, I think, through Dubai and then through. So anyway, and to be here with us, to be able to come to our Freedom Academy event. And so, dear friend of mine, I've actually known for a long time, who was a part of one of the first people who helped us build Secret in the beginning. And now, after I think about 8 years, is coming back here to come play with us with Club Secret. So, ladies and gentlemen, new platinum, let's give it up and some hearts for my good friend here, Mr. Jason Lentz.
What's up, everybody? How you guys doing?
I'm
Thank
good.
you, Jesse, for having me.
I'm doing good.
Man, it's so nice to see some familiar faces, some not so familiar faces, and I look forward to meeting you guys at the event. And real quick, guys, because I got to run soon. But when Jesse told me there was an event happening, God, I think it was you're like a week from now, or a week and a half from
It was a
now.
couple weeks ago.
And I was in Dubai. It's like, and I know I'm talking to a lot of leaders on the call, but it's like mandatory in my head. Like, it's like a no-brainer that I have to be there. I remember my first convention, and I was broke, like super broke. I'm originally from Hawaii, by the way. So like, we have like the biggest cockroaches you've ever seen in your life, and they attack you, they fly, it's insanity. And I had these, they were my pets in my condo. And I was just super broke. And they told me I had to get the convention. I'm like, I don't have the money. And all I had was this like Honda that barely worked. I sold it for $3,000, and I got to my first convention, and it changed my life. I mean, I know it sounds cliche, but literally 6 months later, hit over $100,000. Went on to making a lot more. And since then, I've opened, my own conventional business. I've opened, multiple companies, and it was so nice to Destiny brought me back to Arizona a few months ago, 2 months ago, to be exact, and connected with Ben Bradshaw and this guy over here, and with Isaac. And man, that feeling that I had, and just to let you guys know, caveat, right? I didn't leave to join another company. I left Secret. My father got really sick. I left Secret to take care of my dad. Ended up starting a marketing and advertising agency that my father, had as well. And I took it over and just built that company. And, life got in the way, and we remained friends, but we didn't talk for a while. So it was just so nice to catch up with them. And I told them what I was doing, and they shared with me their future goals and their future plans. And I just got excited, and it was just so nice to be around everybody. So I was like, count me in, guys. Let's go. Let's do this. So again, I'm excited to see all of you guys at convention or at Freedom Academy, right? And then future conventions after that. But that's my little story. Nice to meet you guys, and thank you, brother. Love you. And you guys are just the best community by far. See you guys.
All right. So you'll be seeing him at the event as well. So I can't wait, and maybe a little surprise, which I'm excited for you guys to see. But let's get into it and turn it over to your leadership here. So this is just the beginning. As we go out there and helping more people go get 10-10, 25-25, that's our singular focus right now, is helping people hit their residuals. And this group of people that I'm about to introduce you to are our platinum and above leadership. Some of them are platinum, some of them are rubies. Some of them are diamonds. And what I wanted to do is have them share a little bit about their story, a little bit about their experience and where they came from and why. So if you are brand new, just getting started, this is perfect for you. If you've been around here for a decade, this is perfect for you. So I want you to pay attention to this, because I think it's something that's really important towards not just where you are, but where you want to be. And this is being recorded. We'll have it available for replay. And here's what I need to think about: who needs to hear this? Because there's somebody that's not on here that will need to hear this. Write their name down, so when the recording comes up, you can send it to them and be like, listen, this is, I thought of you when I watched this training. I thought it was really important for you to hear. So I'm super excited to kick us off here is a platinum agent out of the Atlanta marketplace. Him and his wife have been leading by example, stepping up and going on escapes, bringing everybody with them. One of the biggest team players I've ever met, who has been carrying the secret flag with pride over this last 2.5 years that I've had an opportunity to work with him. So please help me welcome Mr. Jared Ojeda.
Jesse Mac Daddy, what's going on? Great evening, our secret family. Jared Ojeda here out of Atlanta, Georgia, small city called Riverdale. And it is an honor and privilege to be on here with our leadership tonight. First of all, let me say welcome back, Jason. So excited to have you back. And congratulations on hitting the platinum rank. I know that's just the very beginning for you. And the fact that you're already signed up and ready to go to your next training, it's totally exciting because you understand the system, right? And it's funny, y'all, when you hear about me, you always hear about my wife, right? My beautiful wife. It's Jared and Kamitsi Ojeda, or Kamitsi and Jared. But would you believe at the very beginning, it was only Kamitsi Ojeda. Now, I do all the talking now. I get excited. I do all the training. But it was Kamitsi Ojeda. Now, it's very interesting also. I wasn't just that supportive husband. I was the one that was totally against it. Like, Kamitsi went behind my back and signed up, and I said, this is your thing. Anybody got any family members that's like that? Like, this is your thing. And Kamitsi would say, she would literally just say, Jared, come to the trainings with me. These people are so nice. And I was like, absolutely not. This is your thing. And then she'd have events at the house, and I'd say, this is your, in fact, I'll be in the kitchen blending drinks loud while she was trying to do presentations. That's how I was against her. But then Kamitsi did something that was very interesting. She realized by asking me to go to a training, it wasn't happening. So what she did was she said, hey, babe, let's go down to Miami. And I was like, I can't afford Miami. See, as you can tell, I'm working at a job just like most. Anybody got a career that you're working while you're building secret, right? This is us, right? And I said, I can't afford it. She said, well, that's okay. I'll pay for it. And then I said, I guess we're going. Can anybody relate to that? I said, yes, we'll go. And she took me down to Miami, and we went and we met up with her cousin who had signed her up. And next thing I know, he's staying inside the hotel room with us. Now, at that point, I said, I guess I'm not going to have no Miami fun, right? I said, this is going to be different. But at that time, I quickly knew exactly why I was there. They had literally tricked me to go to a training event. But when I got there, when I started to meet the people, when I got in front of the owner of the company and he shared the vision, where the company has been, where is it at right now, but more importantly, the vision of where the company was going. When I got to meet the director of training and I understood the hundreds of individuals, see, it was no longer just Kamitsi and her cousin doing this. This was a group of individuals, hundreds of thousands of people that were winning. And I would hear the stories about the success. And more than just the stories, I saw the system for it to win. At that point, I said, you know what, baby? I'll support you. I'll support you. If you want to do this, I'll be there with you. I'll support you. But then at the end of that event, they said, let's go to this next event. And I said, I'm not going to go. And she said, baby, I need you to go. I need you to listen to the terms she said. She didn't say, I want you to go. She said, I need you to go. How often are you talking to your family and friends and tell them what you need? I need you to be there with me. And so I went to the next major event with her. And it was at that event that it came to life for me. I realized where it was. And then it went from me not being supportive to saying, I'm doing this. Here's the best part. By going to that major event and seeing the vision and seeing the system, I looked at my wife and I said, number one, why don't you have anyone else here with you? Number two, I said, we're going to go do this. And within 30 days, we hit our first residual rank. Now, at that time, residual rank was 30-30. But in 30 days, we literally hit our first residual rank because of the training, because of the system, because of the vision that was set for me. My wife couldn't do that on her own. Her sponsor couldn't do it on her own. But it was the big event. So my encouragement to each and every one of you is, number one, get to Freedom Academy. You'll see us there. We'll be there. But don't come by yourself. See, myself, my wife, and I, we have 4 brand new people who've never been to an event for the first time. They're going to be there. And our goal is to have 2 or 3 more within the next week. Because I realize that a meeting missed is a blessing missed. And I don't want to miss any blessings, and I don't want to prevent somebody else from missing their blessing. So I thank God. I thank this amazing company. I thank the training system for allowing us to build an international team from the comforts of our home. I love Secret, and I have the honor and privilege of introducing our next platinum agent, who is also a 6-figure earner, Miss Melanie Levitz. We would love to hear your training story. We'll see you at Freedom Academy, fam.
Yes, I'm going to Freedom Academy, Jared. Thank you so much for the introduction. Hello, everybody. I'm Melanie Levitz out of Miami, Florida. I'm actually originally from Miami, living in Boca Raton now. And I don't know about you, but I kind of grew up learning what not to do. Both my parents were the troublemakers of their family. They say 2 negatives equal a positive. Well, that's me. So I decided after high school to join the Air Force. My passion has always been in travel, and I knew that I would be able to in the Air Force, not to mention get an education by the government. And I'm so glad that I did, because 13 years ago, I was introduced to this industry and I said yes to saving a ton on my trip. If you love vacationing and holidays and saving a ton on your vacations, put a 1 in the chat, because it was a no-brainer for me. I was a yes right away. And when my friend, who was an officer in the Air Force, told me that I could share this idea and make money doing it, I told him, I'm going to share this anyways. So if you guys want to pay me, I'm in for that too. But what I didn't know was when he asked me the next question, and that was how much money I wanted to make. See, when I was 28 years young, when I saw this, I was living paycheck to paycheck. I was a student in college, and I was also active duty in the military, like I said. So I didn't know there were opportunities in the world to make an income of my so desires. So when I looked at him to answer his question, I said, I just maxed out my credit card. So how about we start paying that off first? I ended up making all my money back in my first month. And next thing I knew, I was in a room about a month later with a whole bunch of successful people, with a whole bunch of people making $100,000 a month to a couple $1 million a year. And they were literally sitting there teaching me how to do what they did to get what they have. And I remember precisely 12 and a half years ago, 13 years ago, our very first event, my first event was coming up, and it was in Las Vegas. And my sponsor called me up, or actually his sponsor called me up, and he said, hey, Melanie, you're coming to our national event, aren't you? It's next week. And I was like, no, I'm single. My sponsor is going on his first trip, and I've never been to Las Vegas by myself, let alone to an event of people that I don't even know who anyone is. And he said, well, didn't you tell me? He actually knew my why I joined the business, because I told him I wanted to meet successful people. I always thought that I would learn and meet somebody that would show me how to be successful. And I didn't even think it would be in this industry, crazy enough. But he said to me, don't you want to meet successful people? Isn't that why you joined the business? And I said, yeah, it is. He's like, well, if we could set you up with one of our top earners over a lunch or a meeting after the event, would you consider coming? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And he called me back within 5 minutes. He's like, we got you squared away. Saturday afternoon during our lunch break, you're going to meet with one of the top earners and you can ask him any questions you want. So you're coming, right? And I was on the phone and I was like, oh my gosh, he really pulled this off. And I'm a person of my word, and I committed to that person. And I said, for sure, without a doubt, I will be there. And if it wasn't for these events, I wouldn't have been able to meet some amazing friends. I wouldn't have been able to create an income that has surpassed my residual bills, that ended up creating $1 million within a 10-year period, which has allowed me to stop working now over 10 years ago for somebody else, clocking into a schedule. And what's most important is when you're building a team and you're sharing with them how important these events could be for their lives, you really make the sacrifice to help them understand that even if you can make just one day, if you're working Friday night through Saturday and you can come out Saturday night and be at the event even just Sunday, it is well worth it. I had a guy on my team tell me, Melanie, are you sure these are really worth it? Because right now I'm feeding my kids hot dogs. That's all he could afford. And I said, I promise you, the very first night you're going to find results. You're going to find that it was worth it. And it was no lie. He ended up telling me the very first night, crying on my shoulders, a grown man telling me, I'm so glad that you convinced me, that you pushed me, not pressured me, you pushed me to come, because it has been life-changing. And coming out of that event, that guy ended up hitting within a couple months a residual income that allowed him to start celebrating life and working full time and looking forward to being able to walk away from his full-time career. So I'm going to Freedom Academy. I can't wait to see you guys go to Freedom Academy, and we'll all definitely have to take a picture by the pool or at the event. And I have the honors to introduce to you guys one of my most favorite couples in the company, Jim and Donna Chambers. They actually were Chief Master Sergeants in the Air Force, and they were able to retire with over 40 years together in service. And now here today in Club Secret, they are Ruby agents doing amazing things. So take it away, Jim and Donna.
Yes, Melanie, and we're going to see you at Freedom Academy, girl. We can't wait. And you too, Jared. It's going to be amazing to see you in Comiskey again. We are Jim and Donna Chambers. We live in the mountains of Pennsylvania, so very rural area. And as Melanie said, we're both retired Air Force, and from the military, we went to work in Washington, D.C. Both were executives in Washington, D.C. And one of the things that we realized there was that we deserved a better life. We were working 60 to 80 hours a week. We never saw each other. We never saw our children. Our grandchildren were being born. We never saw them. And we knew we deserved something more, but we didn't have a clue what it was going to be or how we were going to get that. And so finally, we just walked away from that, knew that it was going to be something, but we'd see what it was going to be. And this industry came to us. But I realized when I was in the military, I had to learn what to do because I didn't have a clue how to be a mechanic on some of the things I did there. And then when I went to work in DC, I didn't have a clue what to do there. In each of those cases, I went to training. They trained me, and I went to the most successful people, the people that knew the most about what I was supposed to be doing. And I listened to them. I took notice to what they were saying, what they taught me, and then I implemented it. I became a good student and I implemented the things that they taught me. So then I could now share that and train other people. So when I came to this industry, I had to find something because we had never done it before. We needed to understand what to do it. But I wasn't so sure I wanted to sit in a classroom. You know, I was kind of getting to that age that I didn't want to this really cool things going on there. And at the same time, you're learning things because you're in a different mindset. So you retain more of the information that they were sharing with me. And I thought, this is really pretty cool. So when we started to build a team, because I really joined this to travel, I was like Melanie, I joined the Air Force to travel. I wanted to travel. So when I realized how much fun I was having, and I realized the things I was learning here, we invited other people to come with us. And I'm just going to share one. It was a young lady who joined our organization. And about a week later, just as Melanie said, we were going to Vegas, and we knew that if it was Vegas, she was going to have fun. So we invited her, said, look, you just need to be there. She said, it's Vegas. Yeah, if I don't like what you're showing me, I'll just go have fun in Vegas. And when she came there, she saw the diversity. She saw all of the people that were there, and she saw how diverse the group was, and she saw the community. When she realized what the community was like and what we were doing and what our industry had, she was all in. Within 2 months, she was hitting residual income, and her life totally changed.
Wow. So Jim Chambers here, the other half, obviously, we had a little different perspective on what training was about, but being leaders in the Air Force helped us understand what it really takes to help others, but you have to help yourself as well. And so we knew we were going to go to training because we were smart enough to know that there's an awful lot we don't know, and certainly didn't know about this industry. So we started off by going to our very first training. And that was, gosh, over 15 years ago now. We've only missed one training in 15 years because Donna had to have surgery. So what was the outcome of that? The thing that got to me, the thing that kept bringing me back again and again, was the opportunity to be in the right room. And what do I mean by that? I mean the room that outthinks you. We've done a lot of things in our life, and we can sit around and oftentimes get caught up thinking, well, I know this, or I know that, or I don't need to know that. What you don't understand is what you don't know. What you can't know is what you're missing. from not being in a room that outthinks you. And that's mentorship. This industry, this company offered mentors to us that simply were not available in our national security careers, were not available in the military days. And to be around people like that, that outthink you, that have a way bigger vision than I thought was even possible, and they've done it, they've accomplished it, then that's why we keep going back, because we need to be around people that outthink us. We need to be in a room that has extremely successful people that helps bring us along, that turns around and helps us at the same time. So be at the training event. You're going to find there's a lot of fun people dancing in the aisles and all of that. But be there for you, because you don't know what you don't know. So I get the pleasure of introducing the next one. And this is one of our business partners out of North Carolina, an extremely accomplished woman, Genevieve Francis. Please take it away.
Hi, thank you so much, Jim. I appreciate the introduction. I'm Genevieve Francis. I'm currently down in Morehead City, North Carolina. I hope you guys don't hear any noise in the background. I'm actually out with my family at dinner playing bingo. We do that occasionally at the beach, and I stepped away so I could come speak with you all, because this is very important to me. I joined Secret back in 2020, and I knew nothing about this industry, absolutely nothing. And as soon as everything opened up from the pandemic, and we were, well, actually first we had a training online, and I did that when we had them all the time. But the big event, we had a big event that was online, and I learned so much from attending that one. And then when we were in person, I went to my very first event in person. It was in Texas. It was amazing. I mean, I'd never been anything like that. I learned so much. Haven't missed an event yet. I have learned, I'm a retired CPA, and I have learned a whole lot more attending the trainings with this company than I ever learned in all the college I went to, or from other things I've done. My dad, who's 88 years old, is actually also a secret agent. He listens to the trainings, and he is has his own insurance business. And one of the things that I find noteworthy is that he's been listening to the trainings often, and he said that he wished someone had taught him the things that our leadership teaches us at these events when he was in his 20s or 30s. He said it took him a long time to learn it, and if he had learned that, the things that they're teaching, we are taught at these events, that he would have advanced his career a whole lot quicker. And I haven't missed an event. And last year, after that event, I had just learned so much: self-development, confidence, the ability to speak to people. I rank advanced 3 times, and I surprised myself and rank advanced to platinum. And I've just really enjoyed learning to lead a team. And I just can't say enough about going to these events. I'm actually going to the event Freedom Academy. It's my 33rd wedding anniversary, and it's important enough to me that I'm actually coming to the event, and I'm going to have to celebrate my wedding anniversary another time, because the event is more important. I'm bringing 5 new people with me. I just encourage you to look around you who would benefit from $100 extra, $1,000 extra a week. Bring them. You never know what they're going to learn. They would just be excited to be at an event. I just know they would, if you just invite somebody, see who can get there with you. I appreciate the everything I'm learning from this company, and just all the people that we are surrounded by, all the great leaders. It's my privilege and honor to introduce the next leader, platinum leader, Elisa Head. She and her husband, Michael, are coming to us from Texas. They're just amazing people, and I'm going to let Lisa talk to you now. Thanks so much.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Genevieve. And I'm very excited to just share a few words with everybody. And I'm going to take it way back. But like Genevieve said, my name is Lisa Head. I live in the Plano, Texas area. My husband and I have actually been in the network marketing industry for a little over 20 years. And so I'm going to take you back to one of my early stories in this industry. I was just getting started. I have a background in the corporate world. I had done some business development. I was also a financial planner for a while. And I was just really sick of all of that. And I was looking for something. And that's when someone introduced me to the world of network marketing. I knew nothing about it. And I just kind of jumped in with both feet because that's where I was at in my life to be able to do that. It was kind of like I got excited. It was like someone turned on the light switch. I was absolutely, willing to be teachable, coachable, and trainable. And that was really what I endeavored to do, was just to be teachable and trainable. And I remember I asked my sponsor, my mentor, who actually was a very, very successful six-figure earner in the industry at the time, gone on to make millions. I said, can you tell me what is the number one thing that I need to know? What do I need to do to make money, to make this work? Tell me, I'll do it. And I'm thinking that he's going to just download all this amazing, wisdom to me, helping me understand, oh, well, you need to do this, and you need to call 20 people each week, and you need to present to 10 of them, and you need to do all these different things. And actually what he said shocked me. You want to know what it was? He said, get to training. I'm like, what? He said, yes, get to training, get to the next event. And I said, when is it? And he told me, and I looked at my calendar. I'm like, oh no, I can't go. My husband and I, Michael and I, we love to scuba dive. We are passionate about scuba diving. We've got this bucket list trip planned to the Sea of Cortez to dive with the giant manta rays and all sorts of these, amazing ocean creatures. And he's like, you asked me what you needed to do to be successful, and I just told you, so you need to be there. And my husband and I, needless to say, had a very heart-to-heart conversation about that. And we decided that our future was more important than the temporary vacation. And we canceled the trip, lost money on it, and instead we flew out to the next training. And I will tell you, my eyes were so opened. I was absolutely amazed. I was in total 100% student mode. And what was crazy is that thanks to us making that sacrifice, and yes, guys, you have to sacrifice sometimes. Sometimes you have to make the hard decisions when you are, making plans with your family. And like Genevieve said, an anniversary and things. We've had that happen before too. And here's the thing is that it paid off so big. And what was crazy is just a little over a year later, we'd qualified as one of the top producers in the company. We had actually qualified for a top leaders trip just up the Baja to Cabo San Lucas. We were staying in multi-million-dollar homes, being waited on hand and foot. It was the most amazing leadership retreat that we got to go on. And best of all, we also followed it up very quickly within the next about year and a half with the six-figure income. So we've been six-figure residual income earners for many years in this industry. And I will tell you, it never, ever would have happened if we hadn't have made the sacrifice to get to that very first training. It kicked over the dominoes. It gave us the vision for the industry and what we can accomplish here. But not only that, what it did, and guys, I want y'all to get this. It gave us belief in ourselves. It gave me belief in me that I could do this. When I saw other people up there crossing stage, when I saw it broken down into pieces, how to do this business. And here's the great thing is the leaders that are going to be on stage that are making high 6- and 7-figure incomes each year, they're going to pour out their hearts and give it to us here at Secret and let us know exactly what we need to do. So our big decisions are made at big events. And one of the things I've seen throughout the years is it's not when you sign on the dotted line here with this company. It's not when you get in Secret. It's when Secret gets in you. And when Secret gets in you is at those big events. Big decisions are made at the big events. I don't want y'all to miss out. Our lives have been forever changed by this industry, by the freedom that it gives us. And so this is all about Freedom Academy and helping you be able to attain the freedom that you want. And without a doubt, trainings are the secret sauce to that. So I can't wait to see you at Freedom Academy. So now it's my pleasure to turn it over to the next trainer that we have, or the next agent here that is going to come on and speak with you. And it is none other than this incredible gentleman and his partner. And I believe they're out of the Ohio area. And that is Sean Byam and Jenna Lower. So come on, Sean, and share with us. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Lisa. We are all in with Club Secret. And that is definitely what the events have done for us. Like you said, you know, once it gets in you. And I remember going to my first event. So yes, I'm Jenna Byam out of Canton, Ohio. And I was a server when I saw this industry, and I was going to college. I went to my first event not knowing anyone, a lot like Melanie, and kind of nervous, like going to Chicago. That was our first event, and I didn't know anybody that was going, but I was excited because they said there were people that had both time and money, and I wanted both because where I grew up, you know, most people, they either have a lot of time or they don't work, or they have a lot of money. And so I met people that had both. And I just thought that was such a inspiring thing for people with all different backgrounds to be able to like cross the stage and have freedom in their life. I grew up around traditional business. So my dad, he's a farmer, and my mom, her dad started an excavating company. So I always wanted to be my own boss and set my own schedule and not care if it was Monday or Friday or Wednesday or Sunday, you know. I just wanted it to be able to live my life and be able to raise a family. And this idea has allowed us to both be full-time with this. So when I turned 30, I went full-time with Club Secret, and just really sharing this idea and bringing people to the events is really what's helped our business grow. Where we don't have to teach and train them ourselves and you know, just be us there with them. It is so many backgrounds and so many walks of life where they can learn from them, and they can say, you know, if they don't relate to our story, they're going to somebody at the event. And that's what it did for me when I was a young teenager in college and excited to, you know, get started in this industry. And it kind of just helped along the way with the things that were going to be put in front of me, you know, the big decisions that were going to have to be made. And if I wasn't going to these events over the last 10 plus years, I know I wouldn't be the person that I am today, because it just helps you with growth and you personally in lots of areas in your life, you know, making you a better wife or a better friend or a better employee or whatever it is that you want to get better at. These events can do that for you. And we're so excited. And of course, we're so excited for the parties and the events and everything that's happening. I will definitely bring my country gear for you, Jesse. But thank you guys for sharing your stories, and I'll pass it off to my husband, Sean.
My name is Sean Byam. Like Dennis said, we are out of Canton, Ohio. And when I first got started in the industry, it was a long time ago. I started when I was 20 years old. And everything about this was about out of my comfort zone as humanly possible. I'm ADD, I'm dyslexic, I am super introverted. By the end of these Zooms and days, I'm ready to not talk to anybody, you know? So this was just so far out of anything I ever saw myself doing, but I met some successful people, you know, and they showed me this lifestyle that was possible through network marketing and residual income. And it just started the journey of like getting out of my box and expanding it and all that. And my first event, I didn't want to go, you know, I was just so clueless on how the industry worked. You know, I got started and I came back to kind of something like this, but it was in person. And I had already made my mind up, not knowing. I was like, if there's any other things that I gotta like pay for, I'm not doing it. I consciously left my wallet at home just in case they tried to make me buy something else. And I listened to something like this. I decided that I wanted to go, and that's what I really needed to see. Once I went to that event, mentally, I made the decision that I wanted to do network marketing. I wanted to do it, you know, with these people. I saw some people go on stage and it really inspired me. I thought, man, if they could do it, I could do it. I went to school to be a teacher. And one of the main people who talked was a teacher. I heard some product testimonials, and that really kind of started my journey of personal development, of learning and growing, you know, like Jenna was mentioning, and just evolving from where we were as people to where we are now, and wanting to continue to grow. In the last 10 and a half years, we've had the chance to go on 94 vacations in that time frame. I never used to travel. Travel for me was Cedar Point, you know, so I'm from Ohio, so it's like Six Flags. So it's just, it's an amusement park. It's fun, but I'd only been on 2 planes. So this industry has radically changed our life. And we're just so excited about being at the position we are in Secret, the size of these events, and where the future is and everything that's happening. So we are so grateful to be on this call. Hopefully our story can help, you know, somebody make the decision to bet on themselves and figure it out to get to this next event, and or go grab somebody and get one more person to the event. So I'm going to pass the baton off to our next trainer, speaker. Appreciate everybody's time and attention, and I'm going to get ourselves out of the way and welcome on Leah Lavoie.
Hi, thanks, guys. Thank you guys so much. Super excited to be here with all of you. And yeah, I am so excited to be in Phoenix. We are so we are going to be driving. We're going to start our drive on Friday. And yeah, this business, when I got started, I had 8-month-old and a 4-year-old, and I have a 22-year-old and a 26-year-old. And I was just a mom wanting to be home. I didn't start with Secret back then, but I fell into this going, you know, maybe like someone showed me actually people made money off of this. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. In a year, I was able to replace my income. I was raised with a family business, working with lots of overheads, tons of work. You know, my mom was working all day and working all night and traveling a lot, doing conventions, right? And you know, it was a lot of work. Since I was 3 years old, I've been working in that business, and I knew I was an entrepreneur. It was in my blood, but I also knew I didn't want all those overheads and all those headaches that I watched my family endure. I wanted some more freedom. So, you know, and I wanted to be home with my kids, like really present and home. So that's what drew me into this many years ago. And it did. It got me home with my kids. And now I've raised my kids. They're 22 and 26. And when you build a residual income, you know, you think, oh, I'm going to travel the world, you know, you have these and just be freedom, right? And everything else. And now we've added travel, which is so exciting. But, you know, I had to, you know, sadly had to endure breast cancer 5 years ago, go through a divorce, as sometimes that happens. And then of course the world shut down, and then world opening up for me being re-diagnosed here. So I'm fighting for my life right now, and I am feeling amazing. And right now, my health is my full-time job. So back then it was my kids was my full-time job with my business on the side, and my health is my full-time job with the business on the side. And that's what I love about this business, is when you learn the skills to grow this in the nooks and crannies of your life, there's no excuses why you can't do this. And what we have now compared to what we had back 5 years ago is totally different. And you're going to be in a room of people who are going to inspire you. And I remember the person who inspired me was someone just like myself. And it was a young mom, you know, at that time. And I thought, if she can do it, I can do it. And I felt the vibe of the people. You cannot. That is a very special atmosphere that is absolutely life-changing. And I tell you, if it wasn't for this business and what I did, and without residual income, this last 5 years would have looked a lot different. So God bless everybody. And I'm going to turn this over to the next speaker, which is Carrie Jo. And you are there, Carrie Jo, and have yourself an amazing evening.
Thank you so much, Leah. Thank you so much. I love your story and what you're going through. God bless, man. And you know, what a story of perseverance, right? So appreciate everything that you're doing as far as your commitment to building your business and supporting your team, because that's a lot of work on top of what you're already doing. So this is the kind of community that we have, right? I love this. I love this. So my name's Carrie. I'm coming to you from Idaho. And if I haven't met you yet, look forward to meeting you at Freedom Academy soon here. I want to give you a little bit of a perspective on what happened to me when I first got started with this industry and why I made it my profession. Why I made it my profession over 30 years ago is because of what happened to me my first experience. And it really was that I walked into a room of people, so community, that I didn't realize I needed. I needed it. And they talked to me about Think and Grow Rich. And they talked to me about specialized knowledge. And I worked in the restaurant business, guys. That's all I did. I could teach you how to wait on a table. I could enhance your dining experience, but I couldn't teach how to make any money other than that way. That was the only vehicle I knew, right? So I was a single mom. I was unemployed. I meet these people that are professional, they're fun loving, they're outgoing, they got a vibe, they got an energy like you've been hearing everybody talk about, right? And so I felt that, and they started talking to me about, you know, I like the opportunity, of course, what I saw, and they started leading me towards this educational system. And I'm like, what are you talking about? They goes, well, you got to be trained anytime you get a new job, you got to be on the job training, you got to learn. And well, that made sense to me, because anytime I brought a server and I had to train him, you know, so that made sense to me. And I learned too, through Think and Grow Rich again, investing in ourselves, we're our best investment, guys. So if we can control our destiny, if we invest in ourselves and we apply ourselves, right? So by going to that event, I want to share with you, this was so crazy. I drove in a van 14 hours with people I didn't know, 2 vans, so there's a bunch of us. And yeah, I think I slept on the floor maybe 1 or 2 nights, and I ate a lot of peanut butter and crackers. And I bought a lot of that junk food at the convenience store. I was broke. I was unemployed. And it was January. Oh my goodness. So I'm going from Tucson to Denver in January. It was just a nutty thing. But you know what? I had that feeling. I had that intuitive gut feeling going, phew, opportunity, right place, right time, right people. And I was so right. I was so right, because it allowed me to make an educated decision. So if you're on the fence, you know, what if you went and you got all the vision and you got your direction, got your belief in yourself like I did, and you got long-term focus like I did, and most importantly, confidence to stay strong in this industry and the tools to use to get results like I did. If that happens to you, you're making a really good educated decision, and you're going to get specialized knowledge from people who do what we do. They know what it takes to be successful, because they've been doing it. You're not learning theory, you're learning people who are doing it. So if you can be spontaneous like I was, inside of 2 weeks, it was about a 10-day window for me to get to that event, that training. And I got that confidence, and I got that belief, and I got that vision. But most of all, I didn't realize what I needed was that feeling, that inspiration, that feeling that I could do it, that feeling that is irreplaceable unless you're in the room. I needed to, in that time, pivot in my life, and I needed that community of support. And they were there, from strangers in a van to relationships long-term for years, and memories that we got to create from that one event on that road trip from Tucson to Denver, 14 hours. And you know what? That was each way. Right place, right time. I did the work. I used the system. I got the results, earned me a 6-figure income in my second year. This week coming up, and within 10 days, we've got Freedom Academy. I don't know a better freedom than long-term residual income. Do you? Think about that. And who else is coaching you on that right now today? Who? They're going to be in Phoenix. So I can't wait to see you at Freedom Academy in Phoenix. And I get to turn it over to Linda and Marty from Texas, the dynamic duo. Take it away.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Hold it. I'm still messing with the cameras now. Hang on. And I'm just going to go. So hi, everybody. My name is Linda Muth. This is Marty Taylor. We're both retired naval officers. We live in San Antonio, Texas. And I just want to say we are the senior citizens. So you can do this too. When I saw this, though, this industry, I was actually a financial planner at the time. And it was funny. I was down the street talking to the guy who owned the coffee shop, and I was trying to sell him an annuity. And he whips out a laptop and shows me a travel club, and I was all in. I mean, we're travelholics, both of us. I just loved it. And so I was in and he said, there's a business opportunity associated with this. And I said, oh, no. I have a real job, right? Have you ever seen that before? And plus I couldn't do it because of the industry I was in, but I grabbed Marty and said, hey, come check out this business opportunity. I think it's for you. And because here's the thing, he said, if you're in the business, there's actually probably a way you can write off your vacations. So they had me at write off your vacations. So that was really why we joined the business. But then he said to us, hey, listen, there's a training event coming up in San Antonio this weekend. Why don't you guys come? And we're like, so if you're a 9-to-5er, your weekends are precious. Don't touch my weekends. I don't want to go to training. No. And it was $50. And then he said we both had to pay $50. So it was $100 that I had to pay to miss my weekend. So I don't even know how he got us there, but he did. I think it was because it was right here in town and we had no reason not to go. But just like you've heard many people say right here, what happened to me personally was when I walked out of that room, the feeling that I had was something I'd never experienced in my entire life. I felt so, I guess, inspired. I felt hope. I believed that I could do it. I was surrounded by a bunch of people who said, you can do this. And they had faith in me. And I've never had that emotion before. I had that feeling before. I don't even know what they trained on. Although I do remember the guy at the very end, the guy who went, get paid, get paid, get paid. Eric Grzybowski was our trainer. If you don't know him, you'll have to meet him someday. But his enthusiasm did it for me. And for me, that was all I needed. I knew I wanted to be in this industry. I stopped financial planning the next week. We had a long talk, said, let's do this together. And it's been a blast ever since. So I just got to say this, what do you, if you're on the fence about going, like, is it important enough? I think by now you've probably heard from everybody, but I'll just say, what do you got to lose? It's really the best thing that you're going to do on a weekend in Phoenix. We're going to have a blast and you're going to learn something that's going to change everything for you.
Wow. I tell you, we had only been in this business a few months, and since it's a major training event, as naval officers, and I was a former band director and she was a financial planner, we knew training was really important. But, we had a few people on our team and we were excited, but we didn't have any idea or confidence in ourselves that we could build a business. Okay, because we were traditional, go get a job and earn a paycheck. So when the company at this event, the company introduced a major compensation plan for a bonus for residual income. And does that sound familiar? Like right now where we are? And it was so significant that we said, well, that's a much higher goal than we could ever reach, or we just didn't know if we could do it. And we just remember, just thinking, it's a big event, and somebody had said big decisions are made at big events. And we hear that all the time. And when the announcer said, anybody can do this, I went, we're anybody, let's go try this. I mean, why not? Because we only had a few people and we were like, okay, so that's like the switch came on, and we saw all ages, all sizes, all backgrounds, everybody walking the stage that were already qualified, and they were so excited. We just said, okay, we got to do that, and we can too. And so the switch was turned on. We got the belief that we could do it, even though we didn't have all that much experience, but we had great leaders, great mentors. And so we thought, okay, it's going to take us months or a year to do that. Folks, we went back, that switch had turned on. We believed we could do it. 24 days, we qualified for this major bonus. And then like within 30 days, we hit the next rank. And now they call us the senior citizen Energizer Bunnies, because we just keep banging the drum. We just have so much fun. And when you hit a rank, it just feels good. But when you help others hit a rank, it feels even better. And we've never looked back. And so you got to go to Freedom Academy. It is, in so many ways, people have talked about belief and all this kind of stuff, but freedom, everybody has a different definition of that, and you're going to get your own. And we were so excited, like anybody can do this. So we went back and changed the license plate on one of our cars, and it says, you can too. And so we believe that. So we'll see you at Freedom Academy. So now we're going to turn it over to the fabulous Ruby agent, Josh Valentin. Are you there, Josh?
I most certainly am. Thank you so much, ladies. Great testimony there. And I have the honor and privilege of closing this call out today. Really excited to be here with you all and to share a little bit about my story with our phenomenal training in this industry. So for those of you who don't know me from a hole in the wall, I've been in this industry since I was 22 years old. Prior to joining the industry, I was working as a maritime captain. And the ironic part is I actually just got in the mail today an extension for my captain's license with the U.S. Coast Guard. I'm licensed by the U.S. Coast Guard as a merchant marine captain. And I was one of those people that were financially free, but time broke. And I was doing very well financially, transporting cargo around the United States, getting paid up to $1,000 a day, the benefits, the pension, all of that stuff. And I did all the stuff they say to do, go to school, get good grades so you can get the good job. And I went to a military school, played football there, and I was doing very well for myself. But I just knew that God had a lot more in store for me. So I got involved in the profession, and at 22 years old, I went all in. By the time I was 24, I was fully retired from the workforce, and I've never worked since then. It's funny because I extended my license, but I haven't used it in years. So, but I didn't want it to go to waste, but it's been a blessing to not even have to utilize the license that I worked so hard to get for so many years. And it's been due to these training systems. I can tell you that right now. Someone mentioned earlier that there's 2 days in your secret career, the day you get into secret and the day that secret gets into you. And I just remember when I initially was introduced to the profession, I just knew that I can get my six. I knew that there were people that I was associated with that would sign up. I never in a million years would have thought that this would have become my career. And I'm so grateful that it has. But it took for me to see the bigger picture. You see, they say that big decisions happen at big events. And it wasn't until my first national event where I made the big decision to go all in. I made the big decision that this was going to be my career for the rest of my life. And it's been an absolute godsend. And one thing that I can tell you, on top of all the accolades of hitting top ranks in this industry and making all kinds of money and being able to travel to all the wonders of the world, all the continents, do all kinds of philanthropy. And my wife and I had 3 kids in 3 years. So the residual income gave us a whole lot of time freedom. But I can tell you this, I remember distinctively, I like to take an analytical approach to business. And for those of you who are a green personality type, maybe you're super analytical like myself, you would appreciate this. I remember when I first missed my first and only training event in my entire career. And I was at the equivalent of about a 25-25 here with Secret during that time. And I remember that one event that I couldn't go to because I had obligations with my job to be out at sea. I literally lost 70% of my organization after that national. And I remember hearing early on that people who go to national events make at least 5 times more money than the people who don't. And I'm a firm believer that for every national event you miss, you are setting your business back at least 6 months to a year. Why is that? Because you have the 3 months before a national, the 3 months after a national. So you are going 6 months minimum without going to a national event. Your tank is probably going to be on E. I can assure you that. Being in this industry for as long as I've been in it, you are going to definitely run out of gas. And that's the importance of these nationals. Now, in case you don't know, for those of you who will be at this national event, Freedom Academy, I am the official yogi. So you guys will have an opportunity to also do yoga with me. I always joke around and say in my public life, I'm a network marketer. In my private life, I'm a yogi. And I'm excited to do that. But going back to just training in general, like it's so incredible, this edutainment platform that we have to educate you, but also entertain you with so many different elements that we have set up for you guys over the course of the weekend. But the last thing that I will say on the topic of freedom is, what are you willing to sacrifice? We most certainly know that freedom isn't free. We just came from 4th of July weekend and week, right? And I was just reflecting on freedom. And for me, my definition of freedom is being able to do what I want, when I want, how I want, for as long as I want. And in order to do that, you need time and financial freedom. And the thing about this business is you have to attend all of the events if you want to win big. but what are you willing to sacrifice? I know that some of you are on the fence right now, and I just want to share one brief story before I wrap this up for you guys. I remember that there was one event after I saw what that one event I missed did to my organization. I made a commitment that I was never going to miss an event again, and I haven't. And I knew that all the top earners were going to all of the events, not just 1 or 2 events a year, all of the events. There's just something about the magic of being at a physical live event. And I remember my wife and I were on our second child, and my wife, we had an event coming up, and we had a lot of people who were getting ready to walk the stage. And we were a bit nervous because there was a possibility that my wife was going to give birth the day of the event. So the baby was supposed to be due by then. And we actually walked for about 3 miles to speed up the process. Apparently that works. And it did work for us because my wife went into labor. And we had our child at about 3 a.m. Well, she had the child, but 3 a.m. we had our child. And do you believe that the event was that day? And I had to fly down from New York City to Miami. And I remember talking to my wife about it, and she understood the importance of sacrifice. She understood the importance of being there to see our people walk the stage, and the importance of reigniting my flame, the importance of getting back to a full tank of gas. And at 6 a.m., I was on a flight down to Miami. What are you willing to sacrifice? For us, that's what it looked like. And we have no regrets, because today we not only get to homeschool our kids living between Tampa Bay and the Bahamas, we get to world school our kids and take them all around the world. And we live a life where there's no traffic jams, there's no alarm clocks, there's no boss telling us when we can and can't take the vacation, when we can and can't take those days off. I'm telling you, going to every single training will absolutely change your life. And this is the last statistic that I will share. It's been statistically proven that people who get teammates to a training event, on average, this is the rule of thumb across the industry, they say it's about $1,000 in income for the year. So if you get 10 people at a national, how much money is that for the year? About $10,000. Now, when I got to the 6-figure level, we had about 100 people coming out to the nationals. 100 people equate to about $100,000 in income. And it's never going to be exactly 1,000 per person, but I can tell you this, your level of income will grow directly proportional to the amount of people you have at these national events. So it's not just enough to come out to the events. Get as many people as you possibly can, because your business depends on it. Your freedom depends on it. Yes, you may not have the money and afford to be able to come to this event, but you also cannot afford not to be there. You can't afford to not be there. You have to be there if you really want to win big. And if you don't, take my word for it, you will probably set your business back 6 to 12 months and at a minimum, prolong the process. Listen, in this business, success loves speed. It's so much better when you build it fast. Fast is fun, slow sucks. If you want to build this fast, come out to the event and get as many people as you possibly can. If you just do this and build from event to event, life will change. But what are you willing to sacrifice? How dare you call yourself an entrepreneur and you're not willing to get resourceful? How dare you call yourself a freedom fighter and you're not willing to pay the sacrifices necessary to set your family free for generations to come? It is peaceful knowing that my children will be able to live off of my generational wealth that I'm creating here with Secret. And a lot of it, I can attest to going to every single national. Take a chance on it. And I promise your life will never be the same. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our time. I will be seeing you at Freedom Academy. For all of you yogis, I'll be seeing you on the mat, sweating it out Friday morning. And I am really, really excited to get to meet many of you in person. Take care, God bless, and let's go out there and get it, guys. See you at Freedom Academy.
Grateful for you. Thank you for the training.
Thank you.